speed and mobility on the ground has always been essential to the South African Army. For a decade, South Africa was involved in conflicts along its northwestern border in Namibia with guerrilla forces and the regular armies of Angola and Cuba. South African forces have had to travel hundreds of miles with little technical support to carry out these missions. Wheeled armored vehicles provided the mobile shock force for these missions. South Africa first manufactured the Marmon Herrington armored car in World War II, and it saw extensive use in the North African desert campaigns. In the 1960s, they began production of the Eland armored car, based on the French Panhard AML. The Elands proved to be extremely successful. In a number of skirmishes with Angolan forces, Elands were able to knock out more powerful Soviet-manufactured T-55 tanks by exploiting their speed and mobility. The South Africans have favored wheeled vehicles for their range advantages and economy. The first local South African armored car design was the Ratel, designed primarily as a troop carrier. The Ratel is a large vehicle, capable of carrying troops and turreted weapons, including anti-tank missiles and guns. The Ratel is very high off the ground compared to its European counterparts. The South Africans have found that sleek European armored vehicles, riding close to the ground, have problems in African conditions. So too have opposing forces using Soviet-built vehicles. The most ambitious South African armored vehicle to date has been the Rooikat. In many respects, it is the ultimate cavalry armored vehicle. The South Africans have a different conception of contemporary warfare than European armies due to their past combat experiences. They distinguish two general types of combat: high mobility operations requiring a modern form of cavalry, and high intensity operations requiring European-style tank forces. High mobility operations, resembling classic cavalry actions of the past, were the predominant type of combat fought by the South African Defense Forces against Angolan and Cuban troops. The Rooikat was specifically designed to cover great distances quickly. The Rooikat's armament is a stabilized 76mm gun. This is lighter than the guns found on current European armored cars, but the emphasis is on speed rather than firepower. The South Africans have found that such weapons are more than adequate for the types of enemy vehicles they've typically engaged in past wars. Wars in Africa usually involve formations of light armored vehicles. Heavy tank formations are far less common than in European or Mid-Eastern armies. South African armored vehicle designs like the Rooikat incorporate special features to help reduce their vulnerability to landmines. They can continue to operate even after one or more wheels have been destroyed. The Rooikat is a clear demonstration of the continuing need for wheeled cavalry, not only on the plains of Europe, but on the velds of southern Africa as well.